Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. If you do not know or if you are new to the channel, my name is Paul. This is Travels with PMB. I do all things travel, cruises, all inclusive vacations. I take you on my journeys also. If I'm doing hotel reviews, restaurant reviews, also if I'm going to concerts, I'm taking you along with me. So why don't you join in the membership, or you can also subscribe to the channel. I am also a travel agent. If you want me to book your dream vacation, cruise, all inclusive vacation, land vacation, I am also able to do that by emailing me at bookwithpmb@gmail.com. Without further ado, let us go to the chat. How is everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you had a great week. I hope you had a better Monday. I hope everything is great with everybody. And let's see who is here. Shay, happy Monday, Shay. Shay beat everybody. 5:30 she was in here. Happy Monday, Shay. Yeah, she beat you, Liz. Happy Monday, Liz. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through, Shay. Thank you for coming through, Liz. On the go with YOLO. Long time no see, long time no speak. Happy Monday, YOLO. Saying hi to each other. We saying hi to each other. That's great. Hey, Tanya, happy Monday. Thank you for coming in. Happy Monday. Tanya saying hi to everybody. That's good. Today was held PTO tax, laugh out loud. Oh, wow. Hope you have a better day tomorrow, YOLO. um, I'm stealing that saying on the go, YOLO. Hey, Keisha, happy Monday. Thanks for coming through. Hope your day was good and your week was even better. Um, yep, you have to work like a crazy person to get things done, and then you have to work like crazy when you get back because now everybody wants stuff. Exactly. Vacation time is over. Hope. Oh, we didn't get to talk. How was your cruise out of Bayonne? I think you was going to Canada, right? Yolo, how was that cruise? Did you enjoy yourself? Was that the first time you did like kind of like a New England? Well, it wouldn't be New England, it would just be like going to Canada because it was a quick cruise. So let me know how that cruise was. Well, how was my week? My week was good, productive, busy. I'm so glad that I got back into the swing of things, of just having my regular work schedule as usual. The e the what you call it, the weekend just got a text. The weekend was kind of hectic as usual, and so but I am here and I'm happy to be here. And so, but let us talk. There were some things that happened over the course of this weekend. Some sad things. Maybe we can talk about it. It's really for those people who hey, happy Monday, the Points Blank experience. First time catching you live. Yes, I think that's the first time I'm seeing you. Happy Monday. Thank you for coming through to the live. We're saying good evening. And so, sad news happened over the course of this week, and I just have to just I don't know if you've heard this. So for those who went to Celebration Key, maybe you can chime in. And so therefore on Friday, two individuals passed away at Celebration Key. One was 79, they drowned at the beach, and another was 74. They drowned in Calypso Lagoon. And so I did not go to Calypso Lagoon, and so therefore I am not sure how deep the water is. And so I don't know if maybe because I think they're investigating it. And so I don't know if it's maybe they had some medical issues and they were in the water, and then um unfortunately they just passed away because they had medical issues and they in the water and they ended up drowning. The other individual was in the pool. I think that they were snorkeling. And so when I went to Celebration Key, I don't know if anybody else experienced this. When I was in the Pearl Cove Beach Club, there was a shark. I don't think, and I mentioned this before, there was a shark that came by and the lifeguards kind of ran it away. And so you're underwater, you're in your 70s. I don't know if something similar kind of could have happened where, like, he may have saw a shark coming and just kind of panicked and it was just too much. I don't know. Well, I mean, it wasn't like a huge, like, great white shark, but it was a shark enough that was came through Celebration Key, and then they kind of like was able to get rid of it. And so it was very sad. So I don't know how deep the water is at Calypso, because I didn't think that the water was that deep, that somebody would drown. But if somebody had medical issues, obviously, then that they would drown. So let me see if anybody has comments. Um, I heard about the drownings. Yes, it's very sad, right? They both had medical emergency. So sad. So medical emergency. So that makes sense. So they probably had some type of medical emergency. And so when I was in Celebration Key, there were a lot of lifeguards around. I'm just not, well, at Pearl Cove they were. I know they're so big. These Calypso Lagoon is so big. The areas are so big. I don't know how the lifeguards are spread out, but at the same time, I heard somebody say when it comes to drowning, we all think that of drowning is like flailing, needing help. But if it's a medical emergency and they just was in the water, then that wouldn't happen. So who knows, if people look at somebody to before people sometimes say, "Oh wow, she's been in the water or face down for a long time. Maybe something is happening." And so they were on two different ships. It's just crazy. They were on two different ships the same day. Two individuals in their 70s, one male, one female, passed away. Um, Condolences to their family as they are investigating it. Very sad just listening to the news. Sharp. Oh, I didn't tell you about that. So Liz, when I was in when I was at the Pearl Cove, I'm not sure who else saw it. Or I literally was walking to the beach because I went because there was a little bit of commotion going on, and I saw I was just like, "What's going on over there?" My nosy self, and so and somebody said, "Oh yeah, there was a shark," and they were trying to shun the shark away. And I was like, "Oh wow!" But then it was like, but they said it wasn't a big shark; it was a small shark. I don't know what type of shark it was, but it was a small shark. So now I'm like, okay, I mean, should there be warning signs? I guess maybe I don't know, but definitely that happened while I was at I was at Pearl Cove Beach Club. So didn't tell me about the shark. Yes, the shark. Yes. So yeah, it was kind of crazy. Sharks, isn't that water shallow? Well, I'm not going in the beach side. I'll stay on the pool bar. Yeah. I don't know. Like it just came and then it was, I mean, it was a great white. It'll probably try to bite you off. So it has to be a small shark. I'm not sure which type of shark it was, but they shoot it away so that people could just enjoy the beach without coming near them. And so, yeah, that was kind of, it didn't really happen that much. Hey, Scotty! Scotty's here. Controversial cruising. Thanks for coming through. Let me see what's in the chat. Somebody had a shark on their thumbnail. Was that you, Paul? No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. But it happened. There was other. I have to ask if they the content creators that was at like the traveling type was at the Pearl Cove at the same time I was. I have to ask Legacia if I told her about it. LF McKinley. Um, I have to see if they knew that that happened or if I told them about it. I just can't remember. Unless it's a baby shark, I'm not going in the water there. Agree with Tanya. Stick to the pools. Okay. Tell me a shark is a shark as is a shark. And so that's what happened. That was sad. And so Liz said it was probably a medical emergencies, and so that makes sense because I didn't think that the water, even though I didn't go in the water, it didn't seem like it was that deep. I saw people standing up, like almost like in the middle. Usually it gets to the middle, it probably get a little deeper. And so even though Calypso is like adult, but it's adult friendly, so it's not like an Olympic sized pool where it's really deep and things of that nature. So therefore it makes sense if it was a medical emergency. So, big news right now, right? Everything is just dealing with Star of the Seas. Have you seen any of the footage? So many different people are in Star of the Seas. MH Family Adventures is there. The Traveling Type is there. Big Murph on his first cruise is there. And so, Legacia, do you remember about the shark at the Pearl Cove Beach Club? I'm not sure if I told you about it. I know you weren't near the beach, but there was a shark, and then the lifeguard shunned it away. Did I tell you about it? I can't remember the whole situation. And so she was there, but she wasn't near the beach. And then I went over there to see what was going on, and it literally happened in maybe less than 5 minutes. And then they was able to shun it away. So thank you for coming through, Legacia. And so, Star of the Seas, who has been seeing the footage? Who is excited? Who wants to go on Star of the Seas? Um, I'm working. Oh, yes, you did. Okay, so yeah. So Legacia remembered it. I just could not remember. So so she knows about the shark that happened at the Pearl Cove Beach Club. I'm like I guess I was so much more worried about the bees that I totally forgot about that incident. I mean, because it was so minor compared to bees. I was trying to swat away the bees because I had me silly had this red bag that I guess it was attracted to, and I bought it on Carnival, and so it had this red bag, and they just kept, I guess, swarming because of this red bag, and I can't remember if I had something else, and I think my I don't know if in my shirt or something I had also some other colors. Hey Cheryl, Sig is here. Thanks for coming through. Star looks like Icon, right? Are there any differences that you have heard about? That's the reason I will table that for another time. I literally was looking at it, and I could not I did not see something that kind of did a comparison between the two. And so I want to table that so we could talk about that. Because I want to know what the difference is. The one thing that I said to somebody about Carnival, right, is when they come up with these new ships, the even if the restaurants are the same, like they're like celebration is different from Mardi Gras, right? Celebration, the theme, the whole theme about celebration is nostalgia. And Mardi Gras, the theme is New Orleans. Sorry, so New Orleans. So therefore, even if the restaurants are the same, the bars is different, right? And it's totally different. And so you could kind of have different drinks there. And even though, so at least that's kind of like really different. So like, so the layout in terms of like the decorations is different because it's all trying to be a part of one theme, as well as the bars are different. So maybe some of your best bars on Mardi Gras, even though like for example the fortune teller bar, right? But I don't know if Royal really does that, or they keep more or less the same things, and they may just add one more item, or they may make maybe more slides. And so I'm really looking to see, maybe that will be something I'll talk about next week. I'm really looking to see, I have to look and see what is the difference between the two. And then I'm hearing that it's not really bigger, right? Because they keep saying bigger, 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 and everything is like, oh, the biggest ship, the biggest ship, the biggest ship. And if it is bigger, it's probably like really minimally bigger. It's not like 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet bigger. And so I was trying to see something that kind of even explains um how 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 long it is, right? How wide it is. Is it how many more passengers one has? And so let's table that, and I want to do like a breakdown of that, and see like what it is about Star of the Seas. I know Bulls likes red, but didn't know bees did. Oh yeah, sometime last week, sometime somebody had said that they're attracted to like big color, and it makes sense because if it's like flowers and stuff, I'm sure they're attracted to those. Maybe they feel like the brighter the colors, maybe they feel like it's more sweeter in terms of like the nectar or whatever, the pollen. And so I think that it is. It's the Icon sister, nothing majorly different. I'll be back on the Icon in October and Star in December. I'm looking forward to chilling and fully enjoying the ship since they're the same. See, exactly. And so yeah, I think there's minimal difference, but it's like really minimal at the point where if for example, I feel like if you on Star, everything is new. So it's gonna be like really like a lot of people is gonna try to do it. If you're on Star and it's the same itinerary Icon, would you really try to do Star, if it's way more and then it's like, the same itinerary on Icon? I would just do Icon, right? Especially I think vloggers, YouTube content creators, definitely we have to get the content, we have to get the new ships, we want to put that on our channels. But I feel like as consumers, it may be different, right? If some of us, like some individuals, sometimes get to go on the preview cruises, they're invited to go on some of these cruises, and so therefore, but I think as a consumer, it would be very different when it comes to some of the things that we go on in terms of cruising. I'm boycotting S Star. Really? Why? Why are you boycotting Star? I'll be back on Icon soon. Okay. Why are you boycotting Star? Yeah, I want to know that. The only thing I think I would want to experience are the new Aquadome food stalls. Okay. So some new food stalls. All right. Team Reese. Who's on? I'm thinking this is Keith. Hey, happy Monday. Thanks for coming through because it's the same as Icon. It's the same as Icon. Um, let's see what's in the chat because I was on the original inaugural dated 8/16 and they pushed it to 8/31. And so now they have all these early bookings. It happens more than you think, YOLO. It happens more than you think. I was looking at Luna, for example. I was looking at Luna. I didn't book Luna for next year. It just didn't work out with everything that I had. And I figured since I did Aqua this year, this is gonna be like the second in the Prima Plus class of the ships. So I was like, okay, I can make it pass. And maybe I'll go later on because I feel like each one they're making minor improvements, and so maybe by the time they get to the last one, it'll really be like really great in terms of the spacing of some of these venues that they have on board, which is a thing for me when it comes to that class of ship. I feel like some of those spaces just need to be bigger and some of them are still too small when I was on Luna. And so when I was looking at Luna, initially I saw one sailing, and then all of a sudden when I was looking again, they did a sailing before it. And so I feel like with these new ships, what happens is they kind of have dates based upon maybe the expected time when they know that their ships will be done. Once it is done and they feel like, okay, it's done earlier than expected, then now they said, well, why are we going to wait? So now on what they're going to do, they're going to put it in revenue service before time. And so those individuals thinking, like, even for example, I was in Conquest for Celebration Key. Looked specifically to book the first sailing going to Celebration Key. I looked and I did it by date, who was going to Celebration Key, and I looked and saw that it was the Conquest. So I booked the Conquest. What happened? They ended up putting Carnival Vista as the first cruise to Celebration Key. Was I pissed? Maybe a little bit, but not really because I still had a great time and I met so many great content creators on it. So I was not the first on there, but I still was able to get the content and show it. Yeah, so it happens, I think, so many times more than not. But I think if it does happen, they should be able to like reimburse you, say like, okay, you did this to me. I thought it was the first. I want to be in the first. But you probably have to go through insurance and all those different things to do it. A question is there lobster tails and seafood on the first day of sailing and all? In other words, it's so expensive. Are you getting more than just the room? Are there lobster tails? I don't know. I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe you go to the specialty restaurants. I don't know if it's going to be on the first day of sailing. But that'd be a good question for somebody that went on Star of the Seas. Maybe Big Murph or Rockwell or See It with C. There's so many people that went on the fair sailing first sailing. Paul, I had not heard about your near shark encounter. Wow, you said nothing. I don't know why I forgot about that. I think it's because I wasn't in the water itself, and it happened, and it was just so quick, and I was like, oh well. I was back to vlogging. I went to the restaurant. I was vlogging the food. I was laying down. I was chilling. I was talking to different content creators. It was like so much going on that I think it was because I didn't put it in the vlog. I kind of like just forgot about it for a second. But yeah, I didn't go on the beach, by the way. I was loving the infinity pool, so it wasn't my near encounter with the shark. It was I don't know if anybody was in the water at the time. I'm curious if somebody was in the water and they ran out and they saw it and then they called over the lifeguard. So I kind of went over there when they was trying to get rid of the shark. I'm still salty, but I will try at some point. Okay, got you. We'll be seeing hi to each other. See it with Sea Star to Sea's videos have me excited about the ship and Royal in general. I want to get on one of those ships to experience the Central Park area and the Hideaway area. Okay, nice, nice. Um, no, I love RCO. I'm just not booking Star. Okay, you're not booking Star. That's my concern with Carnival. Them adding sailings. So I think the thing with and we're gonna get to that. I think the thing with Carnival, I think they unless they add a sailing in Europe, I think they may be good. The only way they can add a sailing based upon what they have put out, if we're talking about the new ship, which I'm going to talk about, is that they have to do more than one sailing in Europe. In other words, they do a sailing in Europe, which that big ship, I don't know, because right now, Yola and I were talking earlier, they only have smaller ships in Europe to do anything. And so it seems like, if anything, I think they may stick to that sailing because they have, if we're talking about Carnival, because they have the transatlantic coming straight to Port Canaveral, and then they have the first sailing afterwards. And so there's really no room in between to add something else unless they decide to do another European sailing, which it's kind of big. As I said, based upon the type of ships they have in Europe, to possibly do some sailing in Europe. So I think they're probably going to stick to the schedule that they have. I'm thinking, because of there's no room between the transatlantic and that sailing. Hey, sorry, I'm late. Hey, Danny, happy Monday. Thank you for coming through. Just got sad news. My mom's cousin. Oh, my condolences. Today, Aunt just called, and Joe, my godmother's on the phone with mom. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Danny. Happy Monday. But my condolences at the same time. Sorry about that. It would have to be free 99 and a date that is convenient for me for the star. Got you. We saying, and they put it on Vista. Yep. Team Reese is saying hi. We're saying hi to each other. AD Danny. Royal is notorious for throwing those extra sailings on the front end. See, exactly. And so some ships are really notorious about it. You know what is the indicator? The indicator, if they can throw ships on the front end, is if the first sailing is from the home port. That's a great indicator. If you want to wait, that's a tip for y'all. I'm giving y'all a tip right now. A great indicator that they may potentially add a sailing before the first cruise is if the first cruise is from the home port. That means that if they wanted to, they could add another cruise from the home port before what they have, because that means if they do not have a transatlantic, they're not going to do a revenue sailing with the transatlantic. So that means they could add as many cruises as they want, because the first sailing they have is from the home port, whatever it is, Miami, Port Canaveral, wherever it is. And so if you are kind of like not knowing or unsure, look and see where the first sailing was coming from. That's the reason why I said, if Carnival's first sailing is a transatlantic, unless they do other things in Europe, I'm thinking they're going to stick with that schedule. So therefore, if you want to wait, you're not sure, you just kind of want to, like, keep on looking to see when this ship is, because they always have some type of news about ships, like, oh, the ship did its first sailing. It kind of like, they push it out, they launch it, they just make sure it doesn't sink. I can't remember the terminology. So they push it out like, oh, okay, it was great, boom, boom, boom. They'll do their trials. So somewhere along the way, you'll have Cruise Critic or somebody speaking about some of these things that's happening with these new ships. And so if they're kind of like far ahead in the schedule and their first sailing is the home port, you don't be surprised that they add something before it. The only way, if you when I know they serious, is if they have a revenue service of a transatlantic, and they may possibly do some other stuff in Europe, maybe not if it's huge and humongous. But then So that's a key indicator. So I would just hold off. If you want to be in the first, I would just, I think, hold off a little bit, um, because just like Luna, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised. And they put one before the one I was looking at. I wouldn't be surprised unless they do, unless they have right now on the website a transatlantic going to the port, their home port in Florida. I wouldn't be surprised they even add another one if they're close to. And remember, Luna, unlike these massive ships like Star, is smaller ship. And so yeah, so that's a, I think that's a great tip for y'all. See, I'm giving out y'all great tips. Ain't that something? Um, Hello, Team Reese. I know they have them on the newer Royal Caribbean ships. I just want to know if they had them on the older Caribbean ships. Okay, okay. Danny, spectacular. So sorry. We're saying, yeah, so sorry to hear from you about your loss. It's a big shock. It was not always the way. They did not do that for Wonder or Odyssey. Okay. Keisha, she's. I think these cruise lines, as long as they can get a little extra money and they know people are gonna excited and they're gonna book or rebook, they're gonna do it. We're saying hi to each other. I'm gonna skip through a little bit. My condolences. Absolutely. Tips from Paul. That's right. Free tips. Free tips. Supporter, sorry to hear. Um, Great tip, Paul. Makes sense. Yeah, exactly. You're welcome. So I sometimes maybe just not jump at the first one. Look and see if that transatlantic is the first sailing first, and then you know who did that? I think for Aqua, right, Key? For Aqua, the first sailing was a transatlantic, and I think, and then they were supposed to stop in New York and maybe do like a short trip down, and then there was some weather, so they had to end up in Boston, and then they went down. So I knew my sailing this year for Aqua was the second sailing because I knew they was doing a transatlantic. So they didn't add any other sailings before that transatlantic, and so our sailing was the first sailing in Florida, even though it was the second sailing for the ship. So um, oh, you're welcome. Yeah. And so that was a great indicator. So look and see what the first sailing is. They'll play games and be like, okay, they keep on adding stuff, and then and because when they don't have that revenue trip, they can add as many as they want if the ship is earlier. I think they did Vista better ship for the big higher ups. Um, that's what Mick the Suit guy was on our sailing for Conquest. You remember him, Legacia? And so he had said that Vista was done because they did not want the first sailing to Celebration Key to be a booze cruise. And it makes sense. They did not want, like, this nice island, and so they added somewhere to be the first one instead of it being this 3 day cruise with Conquest, the sort of, quote unquote booze cruise. And so they did that so that it wouldn't be the first sailing there. People are booking up the festival transatlantic. That I can't do 15 days. I just can't do it. I mean, I have other things going on that year. I just can't do 15 days just to say I'm on the first cruise. I just can't do it. We had such a good deal on that YOLO, but can't go. I just can't do it. 270 per person YOLO. Hey Edna, thanks for coming through. Sorry to hear about your loss, Danny. My statement about Duffy's first ship was wrong. Like my bad. Um, Well, my cousin sent that to me while I was on the ship, and by the time I got home Saturday, it had gone up. Oh, the deal. Okay. I guess, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're really trying to get people on that sailing. I don't know if everybody can do 15 days though. Yeah, 15 days is great, but I don't. I mean, if you have the time, like for example, if you have, depends on your vacation time. You have Aqua started as a transatlantic, had to skip the scheduled New York sailing. There was one Miami sailing before ours, but it was a media sailing. Yes, yes, ours was the first Miami revenue sailing. So that's what they'll sometimes do. They'll do the transit Atlantic, and then sometimes what they'll do is like a media sailing if they could. I remember one for Sun Princess, for example, there was supposed to be a media sailing after the transatlantic, and then there were some issues getting in there late because I remember that I remember that. Oh my God, why the Perry DJ was on the transatlantic, and there were some issues, and they had to get off the ship late, and so I think they still did the media sailing, or they maybe just did something on land. So, that's what that was like. I'll be on Conquest this Thursday for 9 days. They might as well make that ship the official adult carnival ship, and so it's interested. Tanya, if you say hi to me, I think he's the one that told me. So they're saying that Conquest is doing a few long sailings, and I'm friends with the the shopping expert. That's what they call it, shopping expert. So Braden, say hi to Braden for me. Because he said he's coming back just to do those sailings. I think it's 3 or 4 of them of these long sailings that Conquest is doing to different places. And so say hi to Braden for me, Tanya. He's the shopping expert. You can't miss him. He's tall. Hope you win big, Tanya. This is the one of the sea sailings on Conquest. Yes, that's what it is. And so he's going to be the shopping expert on that ship. Yeah. And so so let's deal with Carnival Festival. We kind of already started. So as we alluded to, the 15-day cruise from Southampton, London, from May 2nd to May 17th. So I'm not expecting, based upon what I said, I'm not expecting them to add something unless they're going to do another sailing in Europe. So I think that whoever's doing a sailing afterwards should be fine. Then there's May 19th to the May 23rd. Now, as Key just said, unless they do some type of 2 day sailing for media, they may just have media come on there, and then they just have this big hoopla maybe on the ship, because they've done that too, where the ship is stationed, and then media, travel agents, content creators may come on the ship, and they have like something for them to kind of explore the ship and look around the ship, even though they may not do go on the cruise itself. And so my announcement is that I will be on the 4 day sailing, which would be the second revenue ship on Carnival Festival. So that is my announcement. I'm excited. So it'll be the second after the cruise we're doing, the unhinged ungroup cruise. And so I am doing the Carnival Festival, the 4 day sailing. I'm kind of glad it's a 4 day sailing, so that I can get it in and be able to do all these other things that I want that year or have planned. I haven't booked everything yet, and so I am excited about that. If you want to come through, let me know. I could book your travel. You could be on the same ship. I'm sure there's gonna be tons of content creators on that ship. And it's gonna be. I'm gonna try to have a balance. I'm gonna try to have fun as well as do the content. It's a fine balance at times. I think the balance that I started doing is I don't really record a lot during the day. Unless I'm doing a ship tour or do shorts, and then I do like maybe the festivities at night, things of that nature. So I'll try to kind of balance it so I can kind of rest, kind of chill, relax, what have you. And so if book with PMB, if you want to come on that ship as well, I think it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to it. It looks like I was talking to my coworker, because he loves Carnival, and he was saying that maybe the Bolt is not going to be on the ship. So I didn't look at all the specs, because sometimes when you look at the cruise map, it's like to come, you know what I'm saying? So it's, but according to, based upon what he said, it looks like Bolt is not going to be in the ship. So, and then with my because I'm a travel agent, I do these trainings for some of these ships. And so when one of the things, or one of the flex that Star of the Seas is saying, is that they have the biggest water park at sea. And so saying that they have the biggest water park at sea, since Carnival is trying to be competitive, if they're getting rid of the boat going forward, I would not be surprised if Carnival will now have the biggest water park at sea. I wouldn't be surprised. You're getting rid of the roller coaster, and then you're gonna have this massive water park up there. So I would not be surprised, just to be competitive. More with Royal, since that's one of the things that they claim to have, the biggest water park at sea. That they have this great massive area on top of the ship. So we'll see what they do. So I am going. I know Edna is going. I know different people that has booked. Yes, I'm excited about it. The 4 day sailing. Liz, I always leave with something money or with points. Are you vlogging? Will be interesting to see how Carnival does with adult only. Yes. Oh, event yours. Okay, event yours. Yes, I'm going on the sailing. I'm excited. I'll be vlogging. No boat. They expanded their water park instead. Exactly. So I want to know. I'm curious to see if they are going to claim they have the biggest water park at sea. They have the opportunity to do it. It hasn't been built yet. And so if they take this opportunity to kind of be competitive with Royal and have a massive water park, I'm trying to see if they are going to do that. It seems they have so many issues with Bolt. Not surprised they replaced it. I think the thing about with Bolt though, I was on the ship one time, and if you're in one of those cabins in the back where Bolt is, you hear that noise of the roller coaster to going. But I think having a roller coaster in a ship after a while, it's shaking the bolts. It's probably too much for the ship eventually. And so I think they probably decided, yeah, it was a nice idea. It was the first ship to have it, but it's probably not the best idea to keep it. They all try and what yeah, exactly. They all try to one up each other because they're trying to be competitive. And I think the biggest competition now is between Royal and Carnival more than anything else. MSC is there. Still doesn't really have the brand recognition. I think it's Carnival and Royal in terms of cruising. I think because of these big shifts they're coming out with MSC World America, I think they are getting up there. They're getting noticed. They're getting noticed to be. Their food is getting better, so people are noticing them. And some of the complaints about them, they kind of like going away slowly. And so I think before you know it, MSC is going to be like right up there in terms of notoriety, in terms of popularity. Right, Bolt was always shut down. Yeah, so it was always shut down, especially if there's any type of. I tried to do it one time when I was, I think, on. I felt like I tried to do it more than once, and it was always like, oh, it's too windy and things of that nature, so I couldn't even get it. So, um, they've been going tit for tat on lagoon sides too. Sounds like Royals taking that title back with one of their new private destinations. I just did a training on that. Their private destination where they'll take like a taxi cab or something to this nice all inclusive area because they're having a beach club. It's gonna be separate from Coco K. They're having like a beach club. I think they said it's gonna be done December 2025. So look out for that. So Royals are doing a lot of things. And so look out for some of the things that Royal has coming up. um hey this we're saying hey to Scott. And so that is so anybody. So my I did a survey and I just said, are you planning to go on Carnival's festival? 73% said yes, 27% said no. So 73% said they are looking to go on Carnival Festival. So um um, on Nassau. Yes, so that's going to be the beach club on Nassau, and so it's all inclusive. It looks like it's going to be really great. On food is all inclusive. The drinks is flowing. So between that, Coco K, this thing they're doing on Costa Maya, Royal's doing a lot of stuff. They definitely are, and so I don't know if Carnival really can catch up. I mean, they are doing some stuff with Half Moon K, calling it Relax Away, Relaxa K. Which one is it? Relax Away, Relaxa K. Obviously Celebration Key, but I don't know. I don't know if they can just catch up like that. We will go in July once we have a casino deal. Casino deal. Okay, okay, all right, all right. All right. So now do you have time? Okay, we have a little time. So I want to talk about so I just posted a video not too long ago. This is gonna be quick, and so we're gonna rate this, and I'm gonna have it down. You know how I do some ratings, and so I want to know, what do you look for in a pre-cruise hotel? I'm gonna go through the options, and then we're gonna just kind of rate it, and then maybe next week I'll come back with the numbers because it's like I've been talking and chatting for like almost an hour already, like 6:42. And so, what do you look for in a pre-cruise hotel? So, one of the things is stars. Do you look for stars? Does it have to be so? Out of 1 to 5, you could rate this. Do you look for something that is like a 3-star hotel, a 4-star hotel, a 5-star hotel? I have a friend. If I know I'm traveling with them, I'm getting ready to pay some money. if I'm staying with in the hotel with them, if I stay in the room with them, because they will not look at a 3-star hotel for nothing. It's 4 or 5 stars only. They are not looking at anything than a 4-star hotel. They may sacrifice in food. They don't need to go to steakhouses and all these different fancy places to eat. But when it comes to accommodations, the star of the hotel is very important. So, how important is that for you on a scale of 1 to 5? Let's just bring it. How important is that to you? Is really, I mean, I don't go for 2 stars. I will do three and then look at the reviews. And the thing is, maybe the difference between a 3 and 4 maybe that it just doesn't have a restaurant in the hotel. It's not that it's a horrible hotel, but the more things you have, like you're like a restaurant, a really nice restaurant in the hotel will bump it up or something of that nature. And so it's not like it's horrible. Also, 3.5. Do you have the calculator? I have the calculator. I have it on my phone. Don't do that to me. 3.5. Okay, that's not Snaviola. 3.5 for us too. 3.5. Okay. What y'all say? Out of 1.5, how important is the star rating? The 3, the 4, the 5 star? Would y'all do a 1 star? How important is the 3? So let me know. Pre-cruise hotel 4 stars. Um, or whatever. Let me put it up on the screen because I'm not putting it on the screen because I'm here writing. Three cruise hotel 4 stars or whatever many points will get me. Only because 3 stars are not all the same. Yeah, that's why I still look at those Google reviews and stuff like that. So I'll give you 3.5 for that. Ratings are important. Three plus minimum out of 5 stars. So three. Okay, I'll give you a 3. We're gonna go with the ratings next week. For the sake of time, event yours that part. I just went to check the stars of my favorite hotel. It's a 3.9, so like a 4. So out of 5, how important is it to do the ratings to look at ratings? Key the lowest I've booked 3.5, but their reviews had to be on point. 3 stars for Shay. Okay. Three out of 5. I'll do 3 stars at certain hotel chains, but not others. Got you. Because a 3 star at a higher brand or better brand is I am a review reader, but 3 stars if good. So out of 3.5, 3 or higher, read the reviews. 3 or higher. So out of 3.5, out of 5, how important is it to do a higher rating hotel? So give me that. Like that's one of the things you look forward to. Like that may be one of the things you look at first. What is the rating? Is that important? So I guess 4 to 5, because then you're willing to do a 3 and not so much a 5. So 4, okay. So everything I'm 3 or higher too. I guess you can call me a snob in terms of that. Or I'm always looking at ratings and pictures and vlogs too if I had time to research. Got you. So 4, event viewers is 4, team Reese is 4. I'm definitely reading reviews. Okay. 4. Okay, so these are high marks for that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do. Out of 5, brand loyalty. How what is it? I read the review, but I select 4 when selecting it on search criteria. Got you. Brand loyalty. I only want to do Marriott. I only want to do Hyatt. I only want to do Hilton. Or I only will do these 3 types of brands. Nothing more. I won't do a Holiday Inn. So what is your preference out of 5 to say like I just only will stick to certain brand of hotels, right? So it could be a 3, but I'm only looking at Marriott's in 3 stars. I'm only looking at Hilton's in 3 stars. Um, Carnival says 1. Okay, unless we have points. Oh, two. Two is two part. Okay, so the priority is lower when it comes to brands. I'm points loyalty, hotels, flights, and cruises. So what you giving me? What you giving me, Tanya, for the rating? Nah, not loyal to any brand. Ain't nobody paying me to stay anywhere. Got you. I'm the same way. I was loyal at one time to one thing because I was in the program, but I started branching out. Whoever's giving me the best deal. One, not loyal to any brand. Got you. Let's see. Brand loyalty is a 5 for me, only because I always trying to build more. Okay, 5. The key. I like the brands, but I like boutique too. Okay. I forgot the number one. Okay. One. Okay. So it's low. I work for a brand, so I'm loyal to my brand. Oh, so that's got to be five for you. Zero for Tanya. Oh, one. She said one. Okay. Not brand loyalty. One. Okay. I think I got everybody down. Next, a YOLO Bougie. YOLO like what she likes. I'm gonna where we at? Oh, 48. Okay, so breakfast included. I need my hotel to have breakfast included. I'm going on the cruise. I may be getting there in the afternoon. I want to get up from my bed, go down, have breakfast, get my day started. I'm not gonna wait until the afternoon or whenever I'm getting on the ship to have breakfast or get something to eat. Breakfast included. The Carnival says three. Okay. On the go with YOLO says one. That's not too important for her. It's a nice addition, but I can do without it. Three for her. Okay. Three for Key. Yvette, five. Breakfast included is definitely a plus five. Okay. Nope, I'm eating that cruise brunch. One. Shave for cruise, 2.5, middle of the road. Okay, 2.5. Okay. Keisha's three. Okay. Middle of the road. Okay, so that's middle in terms of breakfast. Anybody else? So that's middle of the road in terms of whether breakfast included is a deal breaker or not. And so what we close to the port. Let me see, McKinley. Lakeisha says, not really care about breakfast usually. Not okay, one. Okay. So close to the port. I want something close to the port. I want to be able to have once in the morning and I'm getting up and I'm ready to go to the cruise. I don't want it to be 40 minutes away from the port. I want to be able to be close to the port. How important is that in terms of proximity to how you're getting? So your cruise is sailing out of Fort Lauderdale. You don't want a hotel in Miami, right? You don't if it's sailing uh out of out of Miami, you don't want a hotel in West Palm Beach, right? You want something close, 15 minutes away, you're there. So what are we saying with that? Oh, Carnival Cruise I think it's five, of course, because you could drive there. So for the most part, so that's a five for you. Shay says five. Oh, these are high numbers. Four. I like being able to see the ship from my room. Oh, I love that too. If I could, Key, I do. Oh, well, this is good marks. These are high marks for close to the port. It depends on what else I am doing. Most times I'm doing extra things. Okay, okay. So give me also three, five. Yes, get me as close to the cruise port where I can see the ship from my hotel. I love that too, if I can. I really do. I don't always because close to the port to me, I'm gonna there's a hotel I love, the Intercontinental in Miami. So if it's Miami, close to the port is that hotel. And so I literally can just look outside and see the cruise ship in the distance. It's like really great. But I can always deal with that. Three for YOLO, okay. The Geisha's five. So this is high for them. Depends on the port location. Miami, I'm staying near Bayside to party the night before. So one. Okay. Bayside is nice. I do like Bayside. I like going to Bayside because there's one time I went to Bayside Market. They had like there was a stage and there was like a band and they were singing and it was just like the energy in Bayside is so nice. I like going there regardless of I'll just go there and chill and see what's going on. Close to the airport is nice too though. We getting there. Event though. Okay, but if port cancel or those bummy ports, then close to port five. Okay. So now shuttle from the airport. A I like a hotel that offers a shuttle from the airport. Does that matter? I don't have to worry about an Uber. When I get off the plane, I can just call the hotel and they will pick me up, especially those, well, not all is 24 hours because I've experienced where a hotel did not offer hotel pickup 24 hours. But there are many that will offer hotel pickup for 24 hours. So So those that are, and so you know what, I've stayed like in Orlando, and even though it's not right near, a lot of time they'll consider it like in the airport area, and so I've been able to get the hotel pickups when I've had a cruise out of Port Canaveral and staying in Orlando, and so we all have the parties definitely on the go with Lola. Five shuttle, so helpful. So five shuttle from the airport. YOLO says three. Two, just because we don't fly often. Okay, okay. Doesn't matter to me. Uber is fine too. I'd say a two. Okay, anybody else? Is it important to me? It's nice. If the price is right and it's an option, definitely. But it's not a deal breaker for me. So I do like it, but it's not a deal breaker for me. So I would say I'm like in the middle of the road. I'll say like a 2.5 for me. I'm personally. Nine times out of ten when I stay in Orlando, I am at the Park Hotel. Okay, the Park Hotel. Is that fancy hotel? It sounds fancy. Keisha, you can stay in the hotel. We'd bring the party to you in the same food. All right, shuttle to the port. I've only stayed in one hotel that had this, and so shuttle to the port that provides a shuttle to the cruise port. I've stayed in a hotel. I can't remember the name of the hotel. I stayed in a hotel in Fort Lauderdale, and in the hotel in Fort Lauderdale had a shuttle to the port, and so therefore you didn't have to do Uber if you did not want to. But I had to reserve it at a certain time, and then when I looked at the cost, even though it was $15 to go to the port in Fort Lauderdale, the cost of a Uber was like $9. So I said, why not do $9 and just give it a tip or something like that? So I decided, it doesn't really matter to me. Um, Again, I could say leave it at three. Leave it at three for shuttle to the port. Um, One, I'd rather not share going to the port. Okay. Carnival two. Yeah, it's like probably a one for me. I'm fine with the Uber. Also with three for us, those shuttle costs end up being more than lift costs. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. Like, it was like because if it was $15 per person, for example, I was only myself. But if you're a family, then it's like that's what $45 or something like that, or $30 was two of y'all. I was like, if it's close to the port. It was like 15 minutes away or whatever, and it was. I mean, that was a while ago, and these prices. And the thing about these cabs, I don't know if y'all are noticing, these cabs in these Ubers in Florida are going up in price. I don't know if everybody's noticing it. I mean, they're really going up in price. I used to be able to take a cab from Miami airport, or I should say Fort Lauderdale airport to Miami, and because it would be cheaper to book a flight sometimes for Fort Lauderdale and just take a Uber down, and I would pay like 20 something dollars. Now that's like double in price to go from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. These Ubers and Lyfts is getting more expensive. It used to be very affordable in Orlando. I don't know if everybody's noticing. So now I'd rather just, if the price of the Ubers are going up like that, I would just rather fly closer instead of making that change of trying to go because I'm trying to save a little bit in the flight. And so what we got? So we got this is shuttle to the port three, Shay saying two, controversial cruising, Scotty saying two. Oh, the question was, what do you feel about shuttle to the port? How is it important to have a shuttle to the port? Triple that cost. I have never seen one lower than 7 MC. Triple that cost. Is that YOLO? Is that talking about the cab ride from like Fort Lauderdale to Miami? Um, because they're getting expensive. So if, another tip, because of the price of these cabs and lifts are getting expensive. See if you can do Google flights and see if you can get a flight closest to the the city where the cruise is coming out of, because it doesn't make sense anymore. I used to be able to get like cheaper prices on a flight and then to YOLO, and I used to get a cheaper, really good deal on a flight to Fort Lauderdale, 20 something dollars on an Uber, go down there, and I'm like, I'm winning because the flight was cheaper, and then I'm only spending 20 something dollars to go from Fort Lauderdale, and it's really only 30 minutes. It's really around 30 minutes or so, maybe, to get from there to certain places in Miami. And then when I saw that going even higher and higher, I'm like, and that's the reason why Yolo, she did something where I think she did like the buses and trains to maneuver, and because I was even considering to like even to look into that because the prices is going up. I don't like waiting any longer than necessary, so definitely don't want to share unless it's too expensive. Yeah, waiting for the shuttle to fill up gets my nerves. Yeah, ain't sharing. I used to. So we are going to table this until next time. And so I haven't been doing this, but put in hashtags PMB if you had, in case we missed it. I love doing this segment. In case we missed it, if you put out a video, I know Team Reese put out stuff. Carnival Cruise Addicts, if you have put out something in the last week or so, put hashtag PMB, and that way that your link will come up so that we can go and watch some stuff on your channel. We're going to continue this and wrap this up late next week. So if you put out anything, any videos, what videos I'm coming up with, I put out videos last week and also have videos coming out. So I am done with Carnival Celebration Key. So I'm done with that segment, and I'm going back to Princess and going to show I'm going to show some things that I did not do. So I'm going to wrap up the Norwegian fjords, and I have a surprise guest coming in a few weeks. I can't wait because we're going to have a conversation about the Norwegian fjords in a few weeks. If you have anything, if you came with anything, Team Reese, yes, they have some great content. Go and check out Team Reese. If you came up with anything the last week or so, just put the hashtag PNB, and so that we can go and check out your channel. Good evening, Paul. I apologize. I'm so sorry I missed you. Oh, no problem, Amelia. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great Monday and an even better week. Um, so that is it. My time is up. We're gonna table this and we're going to wrap it up next week. I will be here next week. Let me tell you. So I will be on for the next 2 weeks. I won't be on for Labor Day, so I'll be here next week. And we are so go ahead, just keep on putting your hashtags before I go off, because I want to be able to know that there's so much content out there. The reason why I do this, and I'm just telling you now, the reason why I do this is because there's so much content that sometimes we put out that it's possible to miss it. Even if you have the notifications, like sometimes you miss a notification and it'll come back and you literally have to scroll down to see like who you have missed. And so therefore, like just being having this as a reminder is like, oh, you put out something. Oh, okay, I missed it. And so that somebody can go to your channel and go see. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I missed the discussion. No problem. No problem. Shay, I've been watching Shay. She's doing some things as well. And so thank you so much for coming on. Anybody else? I'm just waiting for a little bit so that you can put down your I'm still here lurking. Oh, Danny, thank you so much for you didn't have. I mean, I know you're dealing with so much, but for you to come on, I really appreciate it. Just wish I'm sure this whole YouTube community just wish you love and wish you condolences, and just share that love with your family and your loved ones as well. That we wish you our deepest condolences on your loss. And so, thank you so much for coming this week. I will see you next week. Until next time, as I always say, happy travels. Thank you for coming through again. See you next week.